Hello, Benjamin? Benjamin? Is it audible? Okay, fine, good. Okay, I am here. Okay. Madam, good afternoon, madam.
Ravi sir,
madam, audio please, madam. Take it, madam. Thank you.
சிம்போனியின் இந்த பாடல்கள் உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கா? உடனே நம்ம சேனலுக்கு சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. உங்கள் ஸ்கிரீனில் தெரியும் சிகப்பு பட்டனை அழுத்தி பக்கத்தில் உள்ள மணி பட்டனை அழுத்துங்கள். எங்கள் புதிய வெளியீடுகள் உங்களுக்கு உடனுக்குடனே வந்து சேரும்.
கேக்குதா சார்?
மேடம்
சார்.
நான் சரவணன் பேசுகிறேன் மேடம். குட் ஆஃப்டர்நூன்.
குட் ஆஃப்டர்நூன் சார். இப்போதான் கேட்குது. ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார்.
கேட்குதுல்ல? ஓகே மியூட்டில் போட்டுப்பாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் சார்.
சரி சரி. இந்த ஹபின் ட்ரை.
மேம் ஒரு ஃபியூ செகண்ட்ஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடுவாங்க.
ஷோர் சார், ஷோர்.
ஹலோ.
சிம்பொனியின் இந்த பாடல்கள் உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கா? உடனே நம்ம சேனலுக்கு சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. உங்கள் ஸ்கிரீனில் தெரியும் சிகப்பு பட்டனை அழுத்தி பக்கத்தில் உள்ள மணி பட்டனை அழுத்துங்கள். எங்கள் புதிய வெளியீடுகள் உங்களுக்கு உடனுக்குடனே
Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. Good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of our college, I extend a very sincere warm welcome to all of you present here for one-day online webinar on data analytics. Leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. Now, I request M. Saravanan sir, Head of the Department, Computer Science, to deliver the welcome speech.
Most respected Principal Sir, Honorable Resource Person of today's webinar, Dr. Safish Mary Madam, HODs of various departments, faculties, student friends, good afternoon to every one of you. It's immense pleasure to give welcome address in this most precious webinar on today. Our chief guest and resource person of today's webinar is Dr. M. Safish Mary, Assistant Professor, St. Xavier's College, Palayamkottai. I thank for her acceptance to deliver webinar on data analytics. Dr. Safish Mary is well known to our department. She came to our college to deliver a special lecture during the faculty development program of our department, and also delivered a webinar for our students during the lockdown periods. This time we approached her to come to our college and deliver a lecture. The time may come, we will meet directly to hear the words, a very good lesson from our chief guest in the future. She is accepting our request and give the topic, data analytics to deliver on webinar. I thank her for acceptance. On behalf of our department, principal, management, students, I express my sincere welcome to our Dr. Safish Mary Madam. Welcome you, Madam. Next, I would like to welcome our principal, sir, who is the backbone of our department. Always he encourages us to give this type of webinars, to organize workshops, and also give the very good guidelines to the students. On behalf of our department, staff and students, I express my sincere welcome to our principal, sir. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Next, I would like to welcome all the HODs of our college, faculty members of our own department, staff members, and student friends for the fullest cooperation to successfully complete this webinar. My dear student friends, it's a time to you to learn the new topic from a very good academician, a best teacher of today's webinar, a resource person. He is well versed in this topic. As I know her very well, he will deliver a very good lecture during this webinars. So my dear students, this is the recent topic. So you have to learn from the right person, and I express my special thanks to the management for the special opportunity given to us, for the permission given to us to conduct the webinar and to celebrate our department function. I express my sincere thanks to one and all for giving me an opportunity to propose this welcome address, and thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Integrity, insight, and inclusiveness are the three essential qualities of leadership. Now I request our respected and honorable principal of our college, Dr. S. Mathivannan, sir, to deliver the felicitation address.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you, thank you. Warm greetings to everyone gathered here and those watching through YouTube Live. I am happy to felicitate this webinar on data analytics, which is organized by the Department of Computer Science. I welcome our distinguished resource person, Dr. M. Safish Mary, Assistant Professor, St. Xavier's College, Palayamkottai. I would like to mention here the affinity of Dr. M. Safish Mary towards our institution. She is not new to our institution or our campus. I could remember her online lecture to our students during the Corona period. Thank you, madam. We are expecting your cooperation and service to our students in the coming days also. And right, I am very happy to share a few words about today's topic and also the scope of this topic. This webinar is focused on data analytics, which is the most in-demand skill. I believe this session will enlighten our students on the usefulness of data in modern India. Data analytics is one of the most sought after skills globally. Business Insider has even rated both chief digital officers and data science executives as two of the top 6 most in-demand executive jobs. Data being the oil in this country, In essence, we are constantly sharing all the data together through our digital devices such as mobile phones, watches, and automobiles. This kind of data is crucial for companies in identifying their potential customers to target and sell their products to us. A data scientist is required to do this job in companies to make data informed decisions and be able to predict and better react to market trends. Companies require such analytic skills combined with strong knowledge in data mining, machine learning, big data analytics, and especially data analytics. The people who possesses the skills and knowledge are the matters of the future. The masters of the future. Anyone who is specialist in these things will be valuable to MNCs and their pay scale will be incomparable to any other jobs. Data analytics is helping companies become market leaders, and the core principles of data analytics from exploratory data analysis to data visualization is the skill you need to master. This webinar, I hope, will cover data analytics at the higher level by focusing on the various aspects of data analytics and how they can be applied in practice. With these few words, I congratulate the efforts of the Computer Science Department in coming up with this session on the recent trends as usual. I congratulate Mr. Saravanan and his team of faculty members of the Computer Science Department in organizing such a wonderful webinar. Happy learning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now I like to invite Mr. I. Ravi sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, to deliver the introduction of Chief Guest.
Thank you. Respected today's webinar Chief Guest, Dr. Safish Mary Ma'am, on the topic Data Analytics. Beloved Principal Sir, HOD Sir, faculty members, and my dear students, good afternoon all. I have the pleasure of introducing to you to the star of the webinar, Dr. Safish Mary Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science from St. Xavier's College of Arts and Science, Chennammal. Ma'am is an expert in neural network and data mining. She has completed bachelor degree in mathematics at Saravanan College and scored 90% with distinction. Then ma'am completed master degree in computer application at Madurai Kamaraj University and scored 80% with distinction. Later on, 2016, completed Ph.D. in computer application, and the topic research interest include neural networks data mining. Ma'am has 24 years of experience in teaching field, at present guiding 4 Ph.D. scholars. Ma'am is the lifetime member of International Association of Engineers. Academic positions, ma'am acts as head Department of Master of Computer Application at St. Xavier's College during the year 2001-7. Then ma'am is acts as Board of Studies member for Sadakabdullah College, Saravanan College, Tirunelveli, then Ayyanara Janayamal College, and SFR College, Sivagasi. Ma'am got organized national conferences in the years 2012-13, then 14-15, then 18-19, and ma'am is published 24 international journals in various topics. I am sure you will be enriched by ma'am's lecture. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Education is the bridge between you and a successful life. I'd like to welcome our resource person, Dr. M. Safish Mary, Assistant Professor, St. Xavier's College, to deliver the special lecture on data analytics.
Warm good afternoon to one and all present here. First of all, I would like to thank Almighty for giving me an opportunity to share my knowledge with my peer group as well as the young minds. Next, I would like to extend my gratefulness to the management of KR College of Arts and Science, especially the principal sir, And I was really, it was really wonderful to hear his felicitation speech. And I think his felicitation speech has made my introduction easier, I think. Yes, his knowledge is actually, he has prepared a lot based on the topic. So thank you, sir, and thank you for giving an opportunity. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Saravanan, sir, the head of the Department of Computer Science Department, KR College. And I'm very thankful to Professor Ravi. Actually, whenever there is an opportunity, he will always invite me. And to this time also, he asked me to come for an offline presentation. But because of some work responsibilities, I couldn't come. Sure, but I have promised him that surely in the next semester, if possible, I will come for an offline presentation. And I thank all the faculty of the department and the students who are going to listen to my topic. I'm not going to present anything in depth because I can understand that both UG and PG students will be there. So if I go in depth, it cannot be easy for it to listen. Okay, so whatever knowledge that I have based on this data analytics, I'm going to share with you. Before going into the topic, I just want one or two to answer. What type of data is needed for doing this analytics? Anybody can answer. Can we do this analytics with an ordinary student teacher, some data like some 100 records, or is there anything special that we need, or what is a necessity for this data analytics? What type of data is needed? That's my question. Nobody is answering. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Okay.
Ma'am, they are watching only through the screen, ma'am.
Okay, right. Okay, right. I can understand. Okay. That's data analytics. So these are the topics I have covered under this webinar. That is motivation for data analytics. Then I'm just into big data. So that was the answer that I was expecting. Okay, because this data analytics it has become a reality or become this much successful because of the big data. So without covering big data, we cannot understand the importance of data analytics. And then traditional analysis that we have been doing with the available data and what is there in big data analytics. Then the tools used for doing this data analytics, the techniques being followed, and some challenges that are being faced even now, even in the year 2020, there are several challenges to be faced in implementing the data analytics, and then summary. So to begin with, motivation. So what is the motivation for this data analytics? So data everywhere. So volumes and volumes of data is generated every second, every millisecond, volumes and volumes of data is being generated. For example, just now, just through this webinar, there is a YouTube presentation is there, then a Google platform is being used, and people who have been using this mobile. So we ask this 1 hour webinar is going to generate some GB of data, some amount of GB, gigabytes of data. Okay. So likewise, every activity that any person doing online is generating volumes and volumes of data. Now, what to do with this data? So when we had this relational database management system in an ordinary database, we will store the data, and then we'll use some analytical tools like statistical tools to do some analysis. But because of this internet availability 24/7, uh, much more data, more and more data is made available. So what to do with this data? That is the question, and this question has given the answer in the form of data analytics. So how much data is generated? This is only a rough statistics which are collected from the internet. So every day we create roughly 2.5 quintillion bytes of data, right? That is because of of this IoT. So now already this Internet of Things has come into existence. Most of the people are using these IoT devices. So and each and every, so when we say IoT, almost all the devices can be connected over internet. And when we say all the devices like a fan, light, when everything is connected over internet, each and every device is going to generate some data. So you can think about, so earlier we had only computers and then computer and mobile devices. Now we are having any device can communicate through this internet. So this data generation is going to be even a very big problem, because how to store the data, that is going to be in future there may be a problem. Google process 20 this PBs petabytes. So I think we may be familiar with GB gigabytes, then terabytes. Then after even terabytes, some may have this external hard drive, where we have this external hard drives of capacity of 1 TB, 2 TB, this terabytes. Then we had this petabytes, then yottabytes, zottabytes. Now this is increasing every day, okay, because of this generation of data. And Facebook, I think Facebook has been overtaken by this Instagram. Nowadays younger people are spending much time in Instagram. So here, just since I collected data from the internet, Facebook has 2.5 petabytes of user data plus 15 terabytes of day per day. So for each user, around 2.5 petabytes. Because let's take for example, when I open my when I log into my Facebook account, I will just scrolling through. So while scrolling through, I may like some video or like post, and I'll just use my mouse to click. Even this click, what will be clicking, maybe a like. Okay, there'll be a like symbol and you'll be clicking the like. You're showing that you like the post, right? That is the information given. Each and every point and click is a data for the company. Okay, so likewise, nearly 15 terabytes of data per day is generated. This is a scenario in year 2009, but now you can think about the volume that we have been across the some zettabytes. So approximately 44 zettabytes of data in the world, and by year 2025 it will increase to 175. And not only these things are, not only the users are generating data, the devices, once for example, this is sun, that is the one, that's large hadron collider. So there is a research going on in the sun in Europe, where they are trying to create an atom particle. Okay, so that device is, again, can see here 15 petabytes of data is being generated by the single device alone. Okay, likewise several projects. During these projects, again, because of these projects, much and much more data is being generated now. Or so because of the available, so what to do with this data that is available? So usually, why we are storing data, or why we are collecting data? To do some research. So when I say, let's take for example the student result data. So once the student result data is available in the department, the staff, they will sit together and do some result analysis. So how will do that result analysis? How many students have passed in the last semester? How many have failed in the last semester? So that can be done with the help of some queries like select star from student, where result is equal to pass. So this will give only the number of students, or the students who have failed in a particular course, right? Then came data mining. So in data mining, some information extraction, not the data. So here, when we use a query, only the subset of the data that is available in the database will be extracted and given to you. Okay. Now, so they wanted to do something much more. Okay, they wanted to find out what is the reason for this failure in that particular subject. So that can be done with help. No, it cannot be done with this ordinary database queries. Instead, they need some other technique. That's where they went for this data mining. In data mining, with the data, they can do this mining of information, not the extraction of data. Instead, it was transferred to mining of information. Like, what is the reason for this much failure? That was possible with the help of this data mining. Then came a scenario where they had to do some predictive analysis. Now, so this much of students have failed because of this reason. So now, if what are the techniques to be applied so that this failure ratio can be reduced? Or if this is the scenario, what will be the result in the next year? So likewise, some predictive analysis they wanted to do. wanted to do some predictive, some decision making. So for predictive analysis and decision making, they had to go for this data analytics. So this is the motivation actually for in any business scenario for taking decisions. So earlier they have been using some optimization techniques, business intelligence techniques. Now they are doing this data analytics. I'll give one example. Let's take I'm just logging, I'm opening this Amazon website and browsing through some shopping categories. Let's take for example, I just want to buy a sari. So I'm just going through the saris and I liked one particular sari. I just clicked my mouse. So the sari will be displayed with the rate and all. I'll be just browsing, scrolling the mouse to look at all the features. Then without doing anything, I'll simply close the window, right? So next day, when I again open the, I'm not going to Amazon website, I'll just open the browser, right? Maybe the same Chrome browser. Now, all along, so if you have not add this any ad blocker, if there is no ad blocker, then you can see that sometimes on the right hand side or on some part of your browser, there will be a advertisement going on, like the same saree which you have seen the previous day with some price drop tag will be blinking, right? It will be asking you to just come and meet me, come and visit me, come and the saree has, the price has been reduced, and you will be like tempted to again click that one, and then again you'll be going to Amazon. Now here I'll give a scenario. So you have opened a Chrome browser. So Chrome is a browser by the Google company. Then you have seen product in Amazon website. That is a product hosted by an Amazon company. Okay, so two different companies. But when you click the product and when you're just going for the next day, you're just opening the Google browser. Now you can see that the same saree which you have seen in Amazon website is being shown on the Google browser, Chrome browser, with some price drop information. See, this is the analysis they have been doing. So with more available data, more availability of data, they can do much more analytics. So mainly companies are investing in this data analytics for boosting their business. Okay. Now, if you look into the type of the data in the big data, it can be structured, unstructured. So I'll just show here. So relational data is nothing but data that we have stored in the regular ordinary databases, like student data, staff data, examination data. Then text data, some web pages, text-oriented web pages, we have the text data. Then semi-structured data. Semi-structured, when you say XML, there is no particular structure. Structured data in the sense text has a structure. We can use some variables to store the text data. Data structures like arrays, collection of data, arrays and all can be used for storing structured. So some data structure can be followed. Whereas semi-structured, probably some text, but without any structure. Okay, because in case of XML, we can define our own tags, so it will not fit into a particular structure. Then graph data, streaming data, and then unstructured data. When I say unstructured data, that example is the Facebook timeline, that's wall. So when you log in, you are given a page. So when you look at the page that is displayed in front of you, there will be some audio, some videos, text. It cannot be, the entire content of that particular page cannot be stored in any data structure. So unstructured data. So this is the scenario. There is volumes and volumes of data is made available. And we look into the complexity is very complex, because it is some part of the data may be structured, some is unstructured, some is semi-structured. So this is where we need the motivations. It's by data analytics come into role. So how to collect these data, how to store them, then how to do the analysis so that a better decision making can be done by the companies. Okay, this is the motivation. Now, what to do with this data? So with this data, we can do several analysis, like for example, OLAP, online analytical processing, can be done, and then indexing, searching queries. That is we have been doing this in Google search, right? So Google search, so earlier, if you type anything in Google search, you had to type it and then you had to press the search button. But nowadays, you have seen that even before you start typing something relevant, that is what you have been thinking of typing, will be notified in that pop-up box. So that is the level of that analytical algorithms being used, so that even before you started typing this, or one or two characters, when you start typing, the word itself will be displayed at the bottom. right? So the indexing, keyword searching, and then knowledge discovery, that is data mining, statistical modeling. This was the scenario. So all these things as motivated for the research into data analytics. Now, big data, big data. What is big data? Big data, big. What is big here? So now the big data can be classified with some characteristics. Earlier they were talking only about 3 V's. Then they added one more V, that is 4V, and now they are talking about 5 V's. Okay, so these 5 V's determine the characteristics of a big data. Now let's say, for example, hotel. We may be seeing a hotel, 3-star hotel, 5-star hotel. What is the difference? 3-star hotel, so some additional features or some facilities will be there. But when I say 5-star hotel, with the star itself, it will be very obvious that some more facilities will be available. Okay, likewise, a data, if it satisfies all these 5 V's, can be called as the big data. Okay, that is it. So it's just a collection of data from different sources. So data warehouse, so that when we say data warehouse, collection of heterogeneous data from different sources placed in one, put together in one place. Okay, when how to differentiate it with big data then? So big data is nothing but a data collected from different sources having all these 5 characteristics. That is volume, variety, velocity, veracity, and then value. So earlier they were talking only about the first 3 V's, that is volume, variety, velocity. Later on they added this veracity, and then now they are having this value also, because value characteristics is very, very important for taking any decisions. Okay. Now we'll see into this, what is volume. So volume obviously is the size, the amount of data. Okay, that's why in the beginning I asked a question that what type of data is needed to do this business data analytics, because if you have some 100 records, 200 records, then there is no need for going for any this business data analytic tools. Okay, we can use some statistical tools to do some analysis, but again for prediction we have to go for some algorithms, right? Whereas if the data volume is very high, like for example, there is a 44 times increase of data availability from year 2009 to 2020. So 44 times increase in the data that is being made available. So that you can see the size in zettabytes. So from 0.8 zettabytes to now it has grown to some 35 zettabytes. So data volume is increasing exponentially. So if the volume of data is very high, then that particular data can be called as a big data. Then variety, complexity. As I said earlier, the data can be of type structured, unstructured, semi-structured. So you are having different forms of data put together. Okay, so like for example, text, numerical, image, audio, video, sequences, time series, social media data, multi-dimensional arrays. So this is it. So it's the live streaming. Nowadays we have this 5G, right? So live streaming, assignment, the data is live replaying is possible. So that is the complexity of the data. So if you have a variety of data, then again the data can be termed as big data. Then third point is velocity, the speed with which the data is being transmitted. More amount of data is transmitted at a high speed. So data is being generated fast. It's like, no, we are not producing the data. Different devices, different sources from different places, the data is being generated at a faster rate. Okay, so we need some online data analytics tools to do this real-time processing. Real-time processing in the sense, as and when your data is made available, immediately decision is to be made. Okay, so online data analytic tools is needed, so that this data, since the data is coming at a higher speed, we need some tools to take an immediate decision. Okay, so this is the example. This I have been talking about, this e-promotions, that sari buying. So and you does notice that whenever Facebook or Instagram, let's say while browsing through, if I'm just watching a video, if I just click on a video, once I click on a video, then within few minutes you could see that some relevant videos will be shown on the sites. So that if you're like for example, if you're watching a beauty tip video or a cooking video, right, then within some minutes you can see that more of cooking videos will be made available. So that is something like real-time processing. So just because you're watching a video on cooking, immediately a decision is taken by the analytic tool that is in the Facebook server, and it is coming out with more and more relevant videos immediately, so that you will be made to watch or made to spend more time in the Facebook. So why they are making you to spend more time there? So the more the time that you spend in a particular website, more data they will get. So more the data, more analysis, and then much more decisions can be taken. Okay, so that is the scenario. And another very important place where we need this uh, big data analytics is healthcare monitoring. You would have heard about the devices. Nowadays, many devices are wearable devices are coming in. Even we are having apps, we are having watches, smartwatches, whereby the heartbeat, everything is being monitored live. So it's not enough if we simply monitor. If there is any small change in the heartbeat or any crucial any calamity is going to occur, immediately some notification will come into the maybe in the watch or in the mobile saying that your heart rate is not proper. So that is it. So real time processing is needed. So this healthcare monitoring is a very good application where we need this data analytics. Then fourth one is the veracity, that is the accuracy. So later on they have added this veracity because you may have volumes and volumes of data. What if the data is not correct data? Some misleading, noisy, dirty data is available, which will not contribute anything to the decision making. So in that scenario, you have to be very careful by that whether the data that you have collected for data analysis is a accurate data. Okay, so the truth, accuracy of data and information assets. So that determines the confidence. Okay, yes, whatever decision that I am going to come up with will be a good result, good decision. So if only you have a good data, then the decision will also be good. Okay, so that is to be analyzed, especially for this health monitoring and medical experimental trials. They have to have some good data. Okay, accurate data. Then the final characteristic of big data is value. This again is very important, the worthy of the data being collected. Okay, now some data is being collected, and if you are having a junk, what is the meaning in going into putting these tools to analyze the junk data? So they have to have some data processing. If you have an idea in data mining, that is the first step. Actually, after collecting the data, they have to do this pre-processing of data. So here again the value of some data is, you have some value, will add value to your decision making. Some data is not at all needed, so they can be thrown out. For example, here I can say that customer lifetime value, average order value, cancellation rate. Whereas if I'm doing this buying analysis, if a supermarket wants to do a product buying analysis, so they will have the sales data. When you look into the sales data, the customer name will be there, customer locality will be there, customer age will be there. So now if you took these three values, customer name, customer locality, customer age, out of these three data, customer name is not needed because this name is not going to contribute anything to the sales. Whereas age, maybe we can say that they use people who are in the younger age, like for example 20 to 50, they will be buying more of electronic gadgets. Okay, so this age may contribute to be a valuable data. Whereas locality, again this locality is again very important because remote places like some villages, they may not be going for high end models. Okay, whereas if it's a metropolitan city, they may be, if they say now, let's say they have released the iPhone 14 model. Okay, now they can have a look at predictive analysis in which locations this mobile phone will be purchased more. So obviously the metropolitan cities and especially the people who are working in IT industries, they may be going for this iPhone 14. Okay, but normal people, so that again, so this the locality again contributes to the decision making. Whereas name, just when Raja will buy this mobile, Rani will not buy this mobile, we cannot say that. Okay, so that is it. So the value added, the data that is adding value to the decision making, that should be considered. So with these 5 characteristics, we can determine which type of data can be called as a big data. Now, the power of big data. So now we are very much clear about the data. Okay, which data can be classified as a big data. Now the big data is available with us. Now, what can it contribute to our life? This big data, what it is doing to the business people, or what it is doing to the day-to-day life of the normal human being. So with this big data technology, thousands of data from unrelated areas. So this is very unrelated. There is no need to have any relevance. Only in the business scenario, it's not like that. anywhere we can have this IoT devices, and almost all the IoT devices are generating some data when they are connected to the internet. Okay, so from different areas the data is coming in, right? So the technologically big data is bringing about changes in our lives because it allows diverse and heterogeneous data to be fully integrated. When we say heterogeneous, different types of data. Okay, data generated by a mobile phone, data generated by a computer, data generated by an ordinary fan, which is a smart fan, smart TV, smart watch. Okay, so different heterogeneous data to be fully integrated and analyzed to help us make decisions. That is very important. So the data analytics is mainly meant for making decisions. Now, you would have used Google Maps, right? But iPhone also there is a map, but and some other devices also. Several maps are available. Or I'll take another example, like search engines. There is Microsoft Edge. They have Bing the search engine. Then whereas Yahoo, there is a search engine, and then Duck. So several search engines are available. Even when more and more search engines are made available, at some point we are forced to go to Google search engine. The reason is if you compare the search results given by the Google search engine and other search engines, you can see that there is a lot of difference. So the search results given by Google is far better than the search results given by other in search engines. The reason is Google is having more data. Google is collecting more data. How they are collecting more data? You can see that almost all the Google products are given free of cost. Okay, whenever if you are having an Android phone, you can almost anything can be downloaded free of cost. But let's take a scenario. I want to listen to music, so I'm just downloading the Spotify app. So when I try to download the Spotify app, immediately a pop-up will come asking me to grant permission to access the contacts, gallery, and some other say irrelevant apps. So the Google, I just want to listen to a music for which I'm trying to install the Spotify app, but Google is asking me to grant permission to access my contact list, my gallery. What is the necessity? Why they are asking for this permission? Because this is the marketing. Because when once they get the contact list, they can promote their product, right? Gallery. So this gallery information will give them an idea about what type of photos, what is they can analyze my personality. Okay, so that's why Google, when they give more products free of cost, we are more addicted to their product. We share more data, they collect more data, and better analysis is being done. So their products again they are promoted. See, it's like a recursive culture, right? So first they give free of cost, we share more data, then they make the product more friendly, user friendly. Again we are addicted to that product. So making decisions is the main motivation behind this data analytics, right? Now the point, data analytics is nothing but the process of examining data sets in order to find trends and draw conclusions about the information they contain. So here, collection of data is not talked about. The only already data is being collected. It's already available. Now, process of examining data sets what for we are going to examine the data set to find trends. So find trends. What is there? What the pattern analysis is being done. What type of data? Okay. Then draw conclusions about the information they contain. So when you log into, when you share some post in your Instagram, so they can do some personality analysis. Nowadays, they talk about sentiment analysis. Or if you take a Twitter account, or if you take if whenever we apply for any companies, you can give a LinkedIn account. So from LinkedIn, in LinkedIn, it's not like other social media websites where LinkedIn, if you look into the posts shared by the LinkedIn users, they will have be somewhat different. Okay, so by looking into the posts, everything that is you have liked or shared by a particular person, the companies can analyze their behavior, their professional status. Okay, so that is this. The pattern analysis is being done. So here you can see in the image the signs of analyzing raw data to make conclusions about that information. So the raw data means there is no, it's not just data is being collected, and take the data, do some processing, and come out with some conclusion. So that is the work done in data analytics. So increasingly, data analytics is done with aid of specialized systems and software. It's not like a normal tools. Some specialized tools are available which can be used to do different type of analytics. Okay. Now, traditional versus big data analytics. So traditional analytics, in the sense, what they have been doing before this big data or data analytics came into scenario. So the focus was on just descriptive analysis, describing why the student has failed. Okay, how many students have some description from the available data, diagnosis, why. So first one, how many students have failed, and then why they have failed. Whereas if you go for big data analytics, predictive analytics, we can predict. Okay, what should be done so that the failure ratio can be reduced. So what will be the scenario if this COVID has is the scenario now? Now what if so before COVID, after COVID, earlier than before Christ, B.C.A.D. after Christ. Okay. Nowadays we can talk about before COVID, after COVID. So before COVID, we had a scenario, a different classroom scenario. But after this COVID, now we are having a different classroom scenario, and the teachers are forced to handle the classes in a different manner, even though you are all offline. But the scenario has changed. Okay, so you have to do some predictive analysis. What it will be in future then, right? Then data sets. So if you talk about the traditional analytics, there is business intelligence. Then limited data sets were there. Then cleansed data. The data was pre-processed. That's why I have been telling. Like in case of data mining, after collecting the data, you have to pre-process the data. You have to remove all the noisy values. You have to do remove all the unrelevant or irrelevant data from the data to be processed. Okay, so cleansed data, then simple models were applicable. Whereas in case of big data analytics, large scale data sets, large scale means the data is ever increasing, right? Then more types of data, structured, unstructured, semi-structured, then raw data, that is data collected without any processing. So it will be having noisy data, the data from different sources, irrelevant data, everything will be there. So the model that should be applied is a complex data model. Now it supports what happened and why. So now we can come out, if you're using this traditional business intelligence, we can count what happened, why it has happened, that's all. Whereas in case of big data analytics, we can come out with some new insights, what can be done in future. Okay, so more accurate answers can be brought out by doing this big data analytics. Right. Now, types of data analytics. Now, here there are 4 main types of data analysis, like descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, predictive, and prescriptive. Okay, so descriptive is already there in data mining. That is what happened. Okay, what is the reason why it has happened? Then why it has happened? That is diagnostics. This again is also available in data mining. Then predictive, what is likely to happen in the future. So predictive analysis is only the outcome of this data analytics. Then prescriptive, solution. Okay, if this is the prediction that is to be done, now if it's a positive prediction, that's well and good. Okay, if the sales will be increased next year, that's well and good. What if the sales is going down? Then we have to come out with a solution. Okay, so what is the best course of action to be taken to avoid that prediction, okay, to a negative prediction. So that is prescriptive analysis. So I'm not going into detail about these types. Just if you have can have an idea about what are the types. Okay, there are 4 types: descriptive, diagnostic, then predictive, and then prescriptive. Prescription, so solution for the prediction. So if it's predicted to be something good, it's well and good. If something, the prediction is saying that something is going to happen in a negative way, then what can be the solution to make it happen in a better way. Okay. Now, so in the felicitation address, principal was talking about this data scientists and data analysts. Yes, obviously there are 2 different groups. And I should not confuse with data science and data analytics. Okay, data science or data scientists or specialized people. Actually, data analytics only is a part of this data science. Okay, and we as students we can do this data analytics. Whereas for data science, some researchers, scientists have to do that because they deal with algorithm. So now we'll see the difference between data analytics and data science. Now in case of data, so on 3 parameters we are going to discuss. One is focus, then the skills and tools are available for this, both the things, and then roles and duties of a data analytics analyst or a data scientist. Okay. Now in case of focus, now if we take data analytics, their work is just to bring about some solution to the problems. Okay, from the available data, do some decision making. That's all. Whereas for a data scientist, they have to ask questions, adding questions, writing algorithms, building statistical models, coding. Okay, so they have to do all these coding and all to make a right and better algorithm, so that when you apply the algorithm, better solutions are made by the data analyst. So data analyst work is made easier by the tools developed by the data scientist. Okay, so so data analyst will just use the tool, whereas the tools are developed by the data scientist. Now I think the picture is clear, right? Now skills and tools. If you look into the skills of a data analyst, then data mining, data modeling, or I think most of you heard about this R programming, and then statistical packages. Okay, then SQL, database management, reporting, visualization. So everything is like, no, so, for every work there's a tools will be available. It's enough if you know that you are familiar with the tool, how to use the tool. So if you are well enough, good enough in using that particular tool, then you can become a good data analyst. Whereas for a data scientist, they have to learn, they have to well versed in machine learning, software development, Hadoop, Java. So these are all something like so system specific, like data analysis, Python, object-oriented programming, systems, soft coding side, software side. They have to be very strong in that one. Then roles and duties of a data analyst, they will simply design and maintain the data systems, databases, interpret data sets, communicate trends, patterns, and do the predictions. So this is the work done by a data analyst. Whereas if you talk about a data scientist, they have to design the model, they have to design the data model, they have to come out with algorithms, better algorithms to do better predictions. Okay, then they have to develop some predictive models to extract information. So comparing these two, that is data analyst and data scientist, data analyst work is made easier by the contributions made by the data scientist. So data analysis is only a part of a data science. Okay, now if you look into the tools, data analysis tools. See, when we say data analytics, different types of analytics can be done. Okay, like for example, the first one, business intelligence tool. What is done in business intelligence? Business intelligence here, just a simple decision making is to be done. Okay, but when we say business decision making, that is for example, now Amazon. Just now they have completed this great festival, great Indian festival sales. So once the sales is over, now volumes and volumes of data will be available in their servers, right? Now what they will do is, first they will calculate the turnover of how much money has been earned, and then they'll compare it with the previous year Great Indian Festival sales. Okay, and there's the first analysis they had to do, right? Whether the sales has increased or it has been down. Then again they had to identify factors. If there is an increase in the sales, what are the factors that has contributed to that increase in the sales, or if it is a downfall in the sale, then what are the factors that has caused this downfall in the sales. That is the first level of decision, the analysis they have to do. Then they have to do this region wise, product wise, category wise. Likewise, they have to do different forms of analysis. Like for example, Apple. If you take Apple company, now they are in the September, they have released this iPhone 14, but many countries they are not supporting the sales of iPhone 14. The reason maybe they are not giving this charger and all. They are giving some reasons, and some people, the reviews, they say that there is no big change. The features, they are not adding anything, any new features to that one. Okay. So now the Apple company, that to sit and analyze, right? So where they have gone wrong, or how to boost up the sales. So this is business intelligence. So for which there is some tool available. They need not write anything new. They have to make the tools available in the market. They have to search for the better tool which will give a better decision making. So I have just listed out one such tool, but there are n number of tools available in the market. So this I got from some website, right? So Data Pine, and almost all of the tools are open source tools only. Okay, they can download it, they can use it. The only thing is they should be familiar with the tool. Okay, first they should study that facilities are available in the tool, and then how the tool facilities can be used to do the decision or to do the analysis that they want to do, right? Then this statistical analysis tools, R programming. I think most of, even in our college, we are teaching R programming for our second year students. Okay, so but we are not teaching them very big data analysis. But if you know how to use the tool, I think that is enough, because if they are given a scenario where you will be forced to do some analytics, if with the basic knowledge you can learn, okay, because computer professionals are expected to learn lifetime, right? Because there'll be every day a new tool is coming into the market. So we'll teach the basics, and once the basics is known to you, you can build upon that. So R Studio is an integrated development environment whereby you can use this R programming to do this some statistical analysis. When we say statistical, average, mean, median, and n number of correlations, n number of statistical analysis can be done, so that we can correlate the sales, we can correlate the products, and which products must be are sold together, so that we can stock in more of that products. So all these things can be done with the help of this statistical analysis tools. Then general purpose programming languages. So Python, here Python can be used for by the data scientists to develop algorithms, whereas data analytics, customized data analytics tools can be developed by Python language. So if you are well enough in Python programming language, you can we can write machine learning algorithms, or using machine learning algorithms you can develop some data analytical tools also. Okay, and then SQL console. So SQL is always there, but the traditional SQL is there. It's not supported. Okay, for data analysis, because in case of traditional SQL, we need structured data. Okay, if only we have the structured data that can be stored in a relational database or some data object, some databases, and then that can be processed with the help of this SQL. Okay, but now they talk about no SQL. There is it's like some non-relational SQLs. Snore SQL, you have heard about this MongoDB, some advanced databases are coming in. So SQL consoles, they have to be used so for query processing, mainly for query processing they have to go for this SQL consoles. Then standalone predictive analytics tools. See, when we say data analytics, it's not only for prediction. Okay, not only for if you have to do some prediction, then you have to go for predictive analysis tools. So one such tool is SAS forecasting. So this again is an open source where you can just download it, or you can create an account, and then you can load your data, and you can make use of their features to do this forecasting. What is forecasting? Predicting, like for example, what will be the gold price. Now you can see that last month the gold price was decreasing because it was a Puratasi Masam, and there was maybe no marriages were there, but now the price is increasing slowly, maybe because of more and more because of this festival season, and then marriage season is also coming in, so the gold price is increasing. So this is forecasting. So different factors that contribute to this increase or decrease in the price. So that is forecasting, how it will be in the next month, how it will be in the next month. Likewise they can do this forecasting. And then data modeling tools, again data modelers. See, data analytics comprises of all these things. Okay, everything is a data analytics only. So data modeling tools, we can model data models can be created, because we are having different types of data. So we can create a data model. When we say data model, it may be a relational data model or object data. So several data models are there. Likewise, they can create their own data model using this data modelers. Okay, one such data model is Erwin data modeler. Then ETL tools. So ETL means extract, transform, load. So Informatica is one such popular tool, and there are n number of ETL tools available. Many companies are using these ETL tools. Like for example, one of my students is working in this company, Accenture. So what she's doing is every day, periodically, she has to monitor the process. How the job is being done. Okay, and when I look into the monitor, it will be like a monitor which will display success, some numbers, right? 20 process success, 20 pending, 2 failures. So periodically, whenever there is a failure, they have to report that one. So this is done with the help of this Informatica, and they are making use of this AWS. What is AWS? Amazon Web Services. So now what I'm trying to say is this analytics, everything is possible because of the net made available 24/7, and the storage. nobody is bothered about the storage. See, even in the iPhones, no, there is no external memory card, or nowadays even in Samsungs. We are not, earlier we were very much bothered about the memory cards. Now the memory cards are obsolete because we are storing everything in cloud. Okay, we have stopped the usage of pen drives because pen drives, they are coming out with several virus attacks. So we can store the data in cloud. So now cloud means volumes and volumes of data can be stored. So because of the cloud, because of the cloud computing, because of this machine learning, because of this IoT, so because of all these technologies, this data analytics is also coming up. So everything is intertwined. We cannot separate data analytics from machine learning. We cannot separate the machine learning from cloud computing. We cannot separate IoT, because without cloud computing, IoT is not at all possible, because IoT, all the devices are connecting, communicating only through the cloud. Okay, so this popularity is increasing because of all these tools, all these technologies, all these such areas, right? So ETL, extract, transform, and load tools, and one such tool is Informatica. It's been popularly used. IBM Informatica, several companies are using it. Okay, then automation tools. So automation tools makes use of this machine learning for automating the decision making. See, either the people, they have to use the tool to do the decision making, or they can program the tool to do this automated decision making. So automated decision making is needed in real time processing. Let's take for example, there is a live monitoring nowadays. No, from today onwards, this new traffic rules are coming in, right? So let's say, what if somebody is speeding up? So if they speed, I think if you look into this bypass, this four-way track from Tirunelveli to Nagarkoil, there are some pillars put up with some speed monitors. Okay, so now the speed monitors, there is no human being going to stand there. There'll be the speed monitor, so it will be continuously monitoring, and if some vehicle exceeds the speed, immediately fine notification must be sent to their mobile, right? So that is it. So automated decision making done by this tool, right? So such tools can be developed using this Jenkins. That is one example I have given. Then unified data analytic engines. So unified in the sense analysis, processing, visualizing. So there are different work being done in data analysis. Just analyze the data, come out some decision, and then you have to visualize the decision. Okay, usually if in nowadays the cricket match is going on, right? Now some visual, if the commentator will be giving the commentary, but rather than this word input, if a picture is shown, like comparing the scenario, the 10th over for the particular opponent and the currently playing player. So if there is a comparative chart, that is visualization. So we can get a clear picture, right? So that unified data analytics engines. So Apache Spark, so Apache has come out with several products. Like Apache Hadoop is a very popular big data analytic tool. Okay, it has its own data. I mean, even Google was dependent on this Hadoop for doing all these data analytics, and then later on they have come out with their own products now. So in the beginning stages, they were using only Hadoop for doing the data analytics. So Apache is another product is Spark, which comes out with processing facility, visualization. So everything is there. It's part of this Spark. That's what it's called as unified data analytics engine. Then data visualization tool, especially for visualization. Okay, how to display the result, right? So it's not enough if you take a decision. Now you have to justify your decision. Okay, so how to justify the decision? You have to present it to the peer group, right? So how will you present it in the peer group? Not like writing some pages and pages of text. Instead, if you put up some pictures, some charts, some graphs, then they will get a clear idea. Now, how to put up these graphs or charts? We have the tools. Okay, they have the analytics tools. So the decision can be passed in as an input to the tool, and the tool will come out with beautiful charts and graphs using which you can present your decision to the peer group. Okay, so these are some of the data analytic tools. So the classification is listed out, and for each classification I have just taken one product and shown in the brackets. Okay, now the top 10 data analytic tools available in the market in year 2022, right? So presently, you can see that The topmost one is R and Python. So Python, there is no, it's going to be there for some more time, because Python is like, you can use Python to do anything. It's a general purpose. So from the simple addition to a complex machine learning problem can be solved, can be a solution can be developed with the help of this Python. So R for as a statistical tool package. So R and Python stands first, and then we have this Microsoft Excel. You may be wondering whether Excel can be used as a, yes, Excel can be used as a very good data analytic tool, provided we are well versed in it. Even in some offices now, even in our college office, for this salary calculation and all, they are writing some macros. It's like programming like that thing, so that this macros, when written properly, it will do the calculations. For example, if there is any increment in this particular month, it will do the calculation automatically. Okay, so that is the power of Microsoft Excel. Okay, and then Tableau, Rapid Miner, so it is, again, if you look into these tools, these tools, each and every tool is meant for some purpose. For example, Canine is used is the machine learning tool. Okay, so machine learning based some analysis is to be done, then you can go for Canine, right? So likewise, Power BI, Power Business Intelligence tool, Apache Spark that we already seen, it's an unified modeling tool. Then click view. This again is for visualization, the view. So visualization, then Talent and Splunk. So these are the top 10 tools available in the market. But we should be very proud to say that we also know something like R you can easily learn. Then Python, I think almost in all the colleges, all this computer science students are learning this Python. Okay, right. What are the techniques being followed? So now you may be wondering, what is this tool and technique? Tools, the readily available softwares. Okay, now techniques, for what purpose these techniques are, for these tools are used? One is regression analysis. Okay, I'm not going to detail about this regression analysis, because again, if you take this regression classification, clustering, so everything is and then comes under this machine learning and all. Regression analysis, one simple scenario is if there is a increase in the festival season, there will be an increase in the gold price. So linear regression, right? Linear increase. So some regression analysis, the factor impacting the output of another product, right? So that is regression. Then Monte Carlo simulation, factor analysis, cohort analysis, cluster analysis, clustering. When there is some collection of data, when there is no similarity between the data, when the cluster analysis can be applied, and then they can try this. We can try to classify them. That is called pattern analysis. Like pattern analysis. For example, machines will make a prediction. So based on the and sometimes this can go wrong, right? This pattern analysis, because everything is done by some machine learning algorithm. So how the machines learn? Machines learn with the availability of the data. More the data is available, the decision will be better. But sometimes the patterns made. Let's say for example, in US there was a prediction done by the systems that if there is a theft, then immediately it says that it is by some black people. Okay, just like now in India they say whenever there is a bomb blast, then here a Muslim will be attacked, like something like that. Okay, because there is a pattern. Okay, so now maybe most of the theft, the reason for most of that may be black people, not now, maybe in the earlier days, but some pattern is done, and with the only with the availability of data, the pattern is made, and so the decision may go wrong. Okay, that is cluster analysis. So cluster analysis, the machine will try to group together the products based on their similarities, or not only products, whatever the data that is available will be grouped together, and clusters will be formed. Once clusters are formed, based on the clusters available, some prediction is done. So that is cluster analysis. And time series analysis, very important for forecasting. Time series for the, what is the scenario for the past 1 month? Well, I mean, if that's, let's say for example, Diwali sales in the year 2022, what was the scenario in the year 2021? What was the scenario in the, so there is time series. So for 1 month, for 2 months, for the quarter of that year, half yearly sales. So this time series analysis is done. Again, this will be used by the companies to boost up their sales, and then to do some decision making if we are having a recruiting company, they can think about recruiting people at what month or what period they can go for this recruiting, so that the students will be very good students from very good colleges will be available. So some time series analysis. Then sentiment analysis is a very good analysis technique being used. Mostly many researchers are doing the sentiment analysis. Like for example, that I think I already quoted this example. Like on a LinkedIn, nowadays it's a style to add your LinkedIn profile link to the resumes. So why they are doing it is even some companies are expecting, or at least like even researchers, whenever we ask for a professor to give their resume for this PhD examiner, PhD valuing the PhD thesis, I could see that the people are giving some LinkedIn URL, or because LinkedIn is like a professional profile will be available there, and then they will be giving their Elsevier URL. So that is these web pages will be having more of their data. So what the data that is shared by them in the resume, in addition to that, unknowingly these pages will be contributing to their personality. So students, when they submit their resume to the companies, they should be very careful. If only they are doing or sharing very good posts in their LinkedIn's, then they should share their LinkedIn. They can share it, because this, if you look at the LinkedIn profile, you can see the place where you did your UG, PG, and then your experience scenario can be given, the company where you worked from the beginning, then, and how long you have been working, what are the skills that you have learned. So everything, so it's like a professional profile which adds color to your resume. Okay. Now the sentiment analysis. Now by looking into your LinkedIn profile page, that HR will have a very good idea about, maybe if the content in your LinkedIn profile is good, means they will have it will have a positive impact on the HR. Okay. So sentiment analysis. Not only that, Twitter. So if you are talking about something bad or something good, then that is a sentiment. So unknowingly, maybe the ice culture, they said no earlier, some hashtags, somebody will start a hashtag, and slowly what happens, everybody will be going along. So if you feel that you are part of it, again you will be adding some comment to that hashtag. So sentiments. Okay. So some comments will boost up the sentiment, and that sentiment may contribute something to the sales of the company. So if you are passing on a negative comment about Amazon, that is the reviews. Okay, even the reviews, then somebody else, when they come across that review, they will not buy that product. So sentiments. So sentiment analysis has its own role to play in data analytics. So these are the different techniques that can be applied for developing the tools, so that these tools will help in predicting or doing this analysis. Okay. Now coming to the last, almost we are coming to end. Data analytics challenges. I think this PowerPoint is not that clear because I have a very big image still. Then light sensor. If I am if there is a night mode, when there is low light, immediately it will switch over to night mode. Okay, so a light sensor. Then it was it when you move the mobile in a portrait one, so that is a motion sensor. So n number of sensors in a single mobile device. So and each and every sensor is producing some data. Okay, so and the data produces again in different formats. When I say voice audio sensor, means it will be listening to audio input. Okay, and then some notifications. Notification in the form of audio notification or in a text format. So all these things are data, and the data must be processed. Any data in any form must be processed. So for data, if you take into challenges, first thing comes the storage. How to store this data? Okay, that is the first challenge. Where to store? And even the cloud servers, they should be scalable. So that is a challenge to be taken care of by the cloud service providers. So storage. Then network. Data is coming at a faster speed. So that is a net. That's why we are moving into 5G. So we had 3G, immediately we had this 4G, and now we are moving to 5G, right? But still, whether we'll stop with 5G, not at all. We'll be again going for another generation, because data availability is there, and data is available at faster speed. So we need more speed network. Okay, high speed networks are in need. Okay, that is another challenge. And then every day there is n number of tools that are made available in the market based on the challenges, and then they are trying to tackle up all these challenges. Then challenges in 2022. So what is the present? Why I'm saying 2022 means, see, whenever they do any research, see, data analytics is not a new topic. It has been in the market for more than 10 years, right? But still, even after using it for 10 years, they are facing some challenge. So that's what I'm trying to say by this year 2000, even in the year 2022, again, there are some challenges to be faced. So that is like, ever doing research. The research is going on. So what are the challenges? Collecting meaningful data. That's what I said. The fifth V they have added, the value, what is the worthiness of the data. So collect meaningful, not others. Okay. So then selecting right analytic tools. Now, for what type of analysis? So first we should be clear about the type of analysis that you're going to do, and then you have to choose, because n number of tools are available. So you have to choose. Then data visualization is very important, because whatever decision that you take must be presented in a pleasant manner. So for which we need a visualization. Data from multiple sources, that is heterogeneous data, low quality data should be identified and removed. Data analysis skills, that is very, very important, because only if the data analysts, skilled analysts are available, they can do this analytics. So people must be available. Okay, people or professionals who are very good in data analytics. That is again another challenge. Then scaling challenges. Scaling means increasing. It's everything is increasing. The volume is increasing. Speed is increasing. Okay, so then they should adapt themselves. That's the storage should be adapted to the ever increasing volume. The network speed must be adapted to the ever increasing velocity. So like this. Then main thing is data security. Always security is a problem. There should not be any breach in the data. And so we only when you are ready to contribute more data, better, because I have been telling throughout the webinar that more the data, better will be the decision. But will you be willing to give more data? Will you be willing to share your data? No. The reason is we are very much worried about the safety. Okay, so data security. If only the company is ready to give 100% security, then we can go for this making the data available. Then budget limitations, lack of data culture, that is it. So people are not willing to share their data. So the data culture must be there. And then data inaccessibility, again this is because of the security. Okay, now tips for, this is the last slide, tips for designing better solutions. So how we can go about it, how that is the understand data users and sources, right? Then discover architecture drivers, select proper reference architectures. There are n number of architectures are available, n number of frameworks are there. So you have to choose the proper reference architecture, do trade-off analysis, address. Then map reference architectures to technology stack, prototyping, re-evaluate architecture. So again, these all things based upon the architectures available. N number of architectures are there. So based upon the type of analysis that you are going to do, you have to choose the right architecture. Estimate implementation efforts, set up DevOps practices from the very beginning, advance in solution development through small wins. Be ready for changes. Big data technologies are evolving rapidly. This is the very, very important. So we should be ready for any change. If there is anything new coming in the market, even if we are not willing to learn it in depth, at least we should know what it is. Okay, any questions? Now the session is open for questions. If there is no question, I'll wind up my session. Okay, thank you for your attention. I'm sure I have contributed something to you in this 1 hour. Okay, thank you. Sir?
Thank you, ma'am. Students, if you have any queries, you can ask.
Good evening, ma'am. What's the difference between data mining and big
Good
data?
evening. Data mining and big data. Actually, in data mining, data from different sources are collected and placed in data warehouse. Okay, and a data warehouse has its own analytical process, OLAP, OLTP. Okay, so transaction process is there. In data mining, we can simply extract information. Okay, but we cannot do prediction. So even in data mining, they say that some clustering can be done. Clustering will actually, there again we have this data mining, descriptive analysis and predictive analysis is there, but the predictive predictions can be done in a better way if we go for data analytics. So big data, because the volume is very high, and for real-time processing, we cannot depend on the data mining tools. Better we go for data analytic tools. Okay. Have you answered the
Okay,
question?
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, is there any relationship between big data and data science?
Okay, thank you. Data science, actually science, we say, science is like doing some work. Actually, that's why I show you that slide where we have seen that data analytics and data science. Data science is developing algorithms to work with big data. Okay, so if volumes and volumes of data is, for example, the COVID. Now, COVID data, if you take into consideration, a huge amount of COVID data is available. That is big data, right? So why it's called big data? Different types of heterogeneous form of data, structured, unstructured, and volume. So in volume also it's very big. So that is big data. Now the data scientists, they have to develop algorithms so that this big data can be passed. Data is the input. So they have to write algorithms to take into this big data, and they have to do this analysis, right? So for when you say data science, they have to clean up the data, because even I think, if I clearly remember, some of you have seen or not, in the year 2019 when the COVID was there, every time there was, the government said they are putting up a chart, like, the places where some with the person name and belonging to Delhi, the age, whether male or female. Likewise, the data was there in that website. And then later on, the information was missing. Most of the information was missing because more and more patients turned in, and there was not proper entry of data. So now, if we have to do this analysis, then first things, they have to clean up the data. The unavailable, empty data must be removed, and then the noise data must be removed. So all these things are taken care of the data scientists. So data scientists, they will develop algorithms wherein, when the data is fed into that algorithm, it will do this pre-processing, then pattern analysis, and then it will produce a data in a nice form, so that the data, they can develop this, data scientists can develop a data analytical tool, and for the data can be passed in, and some predictions can be done, or some prescription can be done, some what they can be the solution. So that is can be done with the data analytics. So data science, and for both data science and data analytics, big data is the input. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, how much is data science being paid in the industry, ma'am?
I think from what I heard, no, actually last semester we had one person from industry who came up for the presentation here. He said actually he did BC computer science, and then he did his MSc in Loyola, and he was getting around some 2.5 lakh per year. But after he did a data scientist course, the first earning was 3 lakh per month. So there was information that I received from the industry people. So yeah, they are paying a lot because they are specialists. Again, the challenge we are seeing, no, there are not much people available. The data is there, problem is there, but the skills not available. So data scientists are paid lakhs per month.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, is JSON coming under unstructured data or only structured data?
Pardon? I couldn't get in. What is that?
Ma'am, JSON coming
Hello?
under unstructured data or only structured data?
JSON, what they are doing is actually they are trying to give some structure for unstructured data. That's what I would say. Okay. Some because after this Laravel framework, or for any web application, so they are trying to give some. They have to have some form of storing the data. Okay. So So some it's a semi-structure we can say, but they are trying to give us structure only.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, what are the methods for visualizing big data?
Actually, big data can be methods in the sense some tools are there. Okay, so mostly charts, graphs, because when you present, visualize means what? The decision that you are taking. Some decision has been taken by the company, and they have to present it to the peer group to get their concurrence, right? So visualize. Now, some decision this. If this is the scenario, present scenario is this. What will be the scenario next month? So what they do in this cricket matches, doing the matches, they do some analysis, and then based on the analysis, they will be doing some prediction, right? If this is a scenario, the first 10 overs for the particular team, and the current team is having this particular scenario at the 10th over, then we will get they can do a prediction. So whether they will win the match or not, okay? So that is the prediction they are trying to get it, right? But visualization is only the graphical form or chart forms visualization. But the tools will take care of. Okay, we need not do anything manually. The data visualization tools are there. So in whatever form you want to present your output, that can be presented and taken care of by the visualization tools.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, is there any library for data mining or machine learning in the big data?
You are asking about this URL data set. Kaggle is there. Kaggle, you can get a large amount of data sets. It's available for any research. And for neural net, actually for neural networks, that is URA repository is there, where from you can take the data. So for any research, you can take it from the qualified repositories. So mostly nowadays people are going for Kaggle, Kaggle. Kaggle can be used.
Thank you, ma'am.
And for storage, you cannot store the data. You cannot store the data locally. You can get some cloud service, and then in the clouds you can store volumes and volumes of data. Okay.
Ma'am, can you conduct a hands-on workshop on big data, ma'am?
Hands-on workshop for big data. Actually, big data is just a data. I think what you're asking is whether we can do any predictions, right? That's what I think. From what you're asking, that's the understanding. Some live session where I can do some prediction, like if this is for some problem. Like for example, I think if you search online, there are n number of I'll give one application. This face mask monitoring. I think this was a scenario in the COVID time. If they had to find out people who are not wearing. So if you have an automated tool, and if it is put up in the entrance, whenever people look at that enter through the entrance, there will be automated system. It will monitor. So now how this is done? Some face recognition algorithm. Okay, and face recognition algorithms. It will just capture the face image, and then for mask means again there should be some pattern. Okay, so from the image they will find out whether that mask is there or not, and then the prediction is done. The person is wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. Okay, I think that's what you're asking. If possible in future, if there is a opportunity, I will try to do that one. Okay, not a problem.
Thank you for
But you
your
can search.
valuable
But from your side, okay, from your side, if you think that if you search in Google, there are applications available, and then you need not bother about the system restrictions, because Google Colab is there, online laboratory is there. Google Colab, if you search Colab in Google Colab, you can write the algorithm. So some people may say, for developing deep learning algorithms, and if working with deep learning machine learning algorithms and working with big data, we should have a high-end configuration machines. That's not a problem. So you can go all the machine learning programs can be executed online in Google Colab, and then you can find the results. Okay, and the coding is, most of the time coding is also available. So you can search for online source code. If it's GitHub, from GitHub you can download, and then you can work out the problems in the online Colab. So there is no need to bother about the software. See, I don't have the software, and even if I have the software, it's a open source software, I don't have the computer for executing this. That is not at all. That limitation is over. I have overcome this limitation, because online cloud is there for storing the data. Online softwares are there, like for in Colab you can use Python, and then you can execute then and there. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All good things must come to an end. Now I like to invite Mrs. A. Jothi, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. First of all, I would like to thank our resource person, Dr. M. Safish Mary, Assistant Professor, St. Xavier College, for giving an excellent coverage to data analytics and making this webinar interesting and meaningful. The session was really subjective and informative, ma'am. Thank you so much for enlightening us with your knowledge, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I also wish to express my gratitude to our beloved principal, sir, Dr. Mathivannan, for providing encouragement and support to organize such kind of programming. I would also like to thank our HOD, Mr. M. Saravanan, for his moral support and guidance. I am very much thankful to all the staff members for their support. Last but not least, I thank you all the students for showing their interest in this webinar. I once again thanks everyone for making this webinar successful. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. Let's meet on another informative session. Thank you all.
Safish Mary, madam.
Okay, thank you. Sir, shall I leave now?
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay. Shall I?
Ma'am, thank
okay,
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, ma'am, you may leave. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
sir, I'm signing off.
Okay, ma'am.